Do you like me?
I could learn to.
Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the swooniest period shows we think Bridgerton fans will love. Some mild spoilers are mentioned.
How frugal and punctilious you are in all of your duties.
Oh yeah, I'm a real catch.
Number 10, Emma.
Who will you dance with?
Why you? If you will ask me.
Most period drama aficionados will already be familiar with Colin Firth's Mr. Darcy in his wet shirt, but Pride and Prejudice isn't the only Jane Austen miniseries worth watching. 2009's Emma is a real treat for fans of the genre. The costumes are gorgeous, the music is uplifting, and the slow-build romance is everything.
Now we have both made our argument, let us not quarrel.
Really, it is better to be without wits than apply them as you do, Emma.
There! Don't you see how you add force to my argument?
Romola Garai and Johnny Lee Miller are perfect as Jane Austen's ultimate friends-to-lovers couple, arguing, scolding, and teasing each other by turns. Settle in for a heartwarming journey with lovable characters, gentle wit, and even a hint of mystery.
I cannot make speeches. If I loved you less, I might be able to talk about it more.
Number 9, Victoria. We tend to think of Queen Victoria in her later years, grieving and dressed in black. We know how her life ends, but how did her story begin?
Yes, I think before your first levee, we should probably try to find a throne that fits.
It is hard to be dignified when your feet are 6 inches from the floor.
This lavish historical series tells the tale of a young Victoria, fresh to the throne and ready to fall in love. Jenna Coleman stars as the diminutive monarch, while Tom Hughes plays the German prince who will ultimately win her heart.
This country has a past, as well as a future.
Do you think our future might involve more of this?
Their love story is as romantic as you might expect, but Prince Albert isn't the only man in Victoria's life. In Series 1, we also meet the dashing Lord Melbourne, Victoria's first Prime Minister, played to perfection by Rufus Sewell.
Through you, I've been given a reason to continue. And you must do the same.
Number 8, The Empress.
Du hast mich an etwas erinnert heute. Du hast mich daran erinnert, wie ich war, bevor ich Kaiser werden musste.
Wie warst du denn, bevor du Kaiser wurdest?
Lebendig.
Historical dramas often focus on jolly old England, but The Empress takes us across the sea to the Austrian royal court. Elisabeth von Wittelsbach, sometimes called Sisi, is a 16-year-old duchess from Bavaria who accompanies her elder sister to meet with her future fiancé, Franz Josef of Austria. When the Archduke falls for the wrong sibling, however, Sisi's thrown into a world of political intrigue and scheming in-laws.
Alle wollen ein Stück von dir, Elisabeth. Lass dich nicht verunsichern. Lerne, wem du vertrauen kannst.
The German language series is based on real events, but the love story between the central characters is straight out of a fairy tale. With elaborate costuming and stunning real-life locations, it's hard not to be swept up in this sumptuous coming-of-age romance.
Wir schaffen das. Zusammen.
Dann lass mich nicht mehr so stehen.
Ich verspreche es dir.
Number 7, Belgravia and Belgravia: The Next Chapter. If you love Downton Abbey as well as Bridgerton, then you should definitely check out Belgravia, another upstairs-downstairs drama from Downton creator Julian Fellowes. We open on the Duchess of Richmond's ball, and the events of that night bring consequences that echo down the generations.
I'll have a story ready by tomorrow, but tonight I will speak with your father.
Don't be too hard on him. It was his dream as much as mine.
You're a young girl. You're supposed to have dreams. He's a parent.
Will the secrets finally come to the surface? And what happens when they do? This self-contained miniseries had a satisfying end, but 4 years later, it was also followed by a sequel, The Next Chapter.
Now, my dear, let me introduce you to some people. After the Marquise, you're the subject of most curiosity.
Both are a lot of fun and can be watched together or as standalones. The servants aren't a patch on the Downton gang, but there's enough going on upstairs to keep us entertained.
Cherish this moment. These moments are the making of a young girl's life.
Number 6, Outlander. For fans of passionate romance in a historical setting, Outlander is a great place to start. Throw in some time travel, political intrigue, and an arranged marriage plot, and what more could you want from a love story?
Lord, you gave me a rare woman. God, I loved her well.
Katrina Balfe stars as Claire, a World War II nurse visiting Scotland on her honeymoon. In a twist of fate, she's transported through time to the era of the Jacobites, and falls into the path of a handsome clansman named Jamie Fraser.
Zou je te vriezen voor sunup?
Sunup? You mean we'll be writing all night?
All night. And the next one too, I reckon.
The journey takes them to some dark places, but their romance is one for the ages. Why not take a break from the English ballrooms and immerse yourself in the wild Scottish Highlands instead?
Fine. If I must, may as well join in.
No. That's not in the spirit.
Number 5. Poldark.
You make me ashamed. Your heart is so generous. You always see the good in things.
Set in Georgian England on the rugged Cornish coast, Poldark is a sweeping saga with a central romance to set your heart racing. The eponymous hero returns from the war in America to discover that his childhood sweetheart has accepted his cousin's hand in marriage. The story that follows is as dramatic as the scenery, encompassing true love, social justice, and family politics.
You know what people say of us.
Yeah.
If we behave like this, it will be true.
There's also quite a lot about mining, but it's worth sitting through for the good stuff. Ross and Demelza are an iconic TV pairing, but if they don't float your boat, there are plenty of other characters to fall in love with as the series progresses.
Did my letters not satisfy you?
They evoke pleasure and pain in equal measure.
Number 4. Rain.
We're overrun by Scots.
If you're searching for a historically accurate depiction of Mary, Queen of Scots, then Rain is probably not for you. However, if you're into pretty dresses, pagan plots, strong female characters, and plenty of drama, then look no further. In essence, it's Gossip Girl meets the Tudors.
You do realize that we could all be dead. My children, slaughtered. And all because you couldn't stand being lonely in your role as queen, as wife. That's the job, Mary. Get used to it.
The engaging cast of characters spend most of their time scheming in cute outfits, navigating the politics of the French court and falling madly in love. Our favorite is Mary's wicked mother-in-law, Catherine de Medici, played with relish by Anne of Green Gables actress Megan Follows. Like Bridgerton, there's also a modern soundtrack, with familiar songs often played on strings in a ballroom setting.
Do you doubt me?
As long as Francis has doubts, so will I.
Number 3. Vanity Fair.
I am the daughter of a painter and an opera girl. I've never hidden it, but today, my lord, I put it behind me forever.
Always the charming optimist.
William Makepeace Thackeray's classic novel is brought bang up to date in this adaptation from 2018. Starring Olivia Cooke and Bridgerton's Claudia Jessie, it follows two very different young women making their way in Regency society. Becky Sharp is one of literature's most intriguing heroines, and Cooke really brings her to life. Meanwhile, Tom Bateman, Johnny Flynn, and Charlie Rowe play the leading men in Our Ladies' lives, and they look good doing it.
Whichever Lady Crawley wore that particular brocade, she cannot possibly have looked as adorable in it as you do.
It's not,
If you cannot carry it off, nobody can.
It's a big book to be squeezed into 7 episodes, but despite modern music and a contemporary feel, it's a mostly faithful retelling, and really just a lot of fun.
Becky's always so lively.
She has a light heart. It's a good thing in a woman.
You like her better now. I'm glad.
Number 2. Sanditon. Based on an unfinished novel by Jane Austen, Sanditon is definitely one for the Bridgerton fans.
I went down to the beach to gather shells and time ran away with me.
Anything impressive catch your eye? Shell-wise?
Oh, no, I came back empty-handed.
It follows Charlotte Haywood, a quintessential Austen heroine, who travels to the up-and-coming seaside town of Sanditon. The show also stars a smoldering Theo James, as well as Jane Austen's first character of color, the heiress Georgiana Lamb.
I should never have expected such a warm reception.
It is not you. It is because I have arrived.
Sanditon was cancelled after just one series. However, after an outpouring of indignation from the fans, it was picked up by PBS, who brought in a new cast of characters to see Charlotte's story through to its happy end.
Forgive yourself.
I cannot. I cannot.
You must. Else the past will thwart the future. A future that I imagine could be very dear indeed.
Before we unveil our top pick, here are a few honorable mentions. The Artful Dodger. A grown-up Jack Dawkins gets a sweet romance in this fun adventure series.
You have unnerved me more than any other woman I have ever met.
Is that a good thing?
Dickinson. Author Emily Dickinson is reimagined as a modern teen breaking free from the confines of society.
Hey, Emily.
Oh, come on! George!
Hey. You have already made my daughter's acquaintance?
Mom, this is George. He's in the lit club with Austin. We hang out like all the time.
War and Peace. A classic tale, a cast packed with famous faces and costumes to die for.
I keep hearing reports you're making waves in the court circles, reforming the army. The old spark's burning bright again, isn't it?
Downton Abbey. If you haven't watched this yet, where have you been?
I don't believe you need my forgiveness. You've lived your life and I've lived mine. And now it's time we live them together.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. The Buccaneers.
Here is to a new world. Marriages, men, parties.
Not particularly in that order.
The Buccaneers is set in the glamorous era nicknamed the Gilded Age, but don't confuse it with that Julian Fellows show. Both series are worth a watch, but while the Gilded Age feels like a traditional period drama, The Buccaneers has a younger, more contemporary vibe.
Everybody look! Pikachu's doing our move! Look and learn! Be the party!
The costumes are fabulous, though not always period accurate. The characters and dialogue feel modern and inclusive, and it's all set to a soundtrack of 2020's bangers. However, the plot has been adapted from an unfinished Edith Wharton novel, so you can expect all the marriage market drama that makes these kinds of shows so juicy. The big question is, will you be cheering for Team Guy or Team Theo?
Good of you to be concerned, but I know my fiancé better than you.
Of course. Though I do know the way to feeling inadequate. Something else entirely unfamiliar to you.
Which period dramas would you recommend to satisfy our Bridgerton cravings? Share your favorites in the comments.
I hope we can meet again. I'm sure we will.
Let the three of us be friends, in spite of everything.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from MsMojo. And be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.